Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. A rude awakening pushed me to seriously start losing weight. It has been 12 weeks, and I've lost 13.2 pounds without starving or depriving myself. I knew I'd gained weight due to the pandemic, but I didn't totally realize by how much until vaccination started early this year. I'd always thought with my husband being considered an essential worker, he would get it in our family first. Our state considered obesity as a comorbidity, so out of curiosity, I weighed myself sometime in March to see if I could get it with him. It turns out I'd gained 20 pounds and pushed my BMI into the obese category. I am 5 foot 3 inches, and at that weigh-in, I was 179.8 pounds. I knew I had to lose weight, but it had to be done sustainably and long term. Crash diets were not going to cut it for me, as we're a food-loving family. We love to try new recipes and bake. This became my downfall during the lockdown, as we turned to cooking and baking for comfort when we lost our father to the virus in March 2020. I also had not seriously done any weight loss programs as an adult, other than just making sure I exercised during the weekdays. I've never been a slim person, but was relatively happy with my plump figure. But hitting the obese category for BMI, and yes, BMI isn't really the best gauge of health, but it's a start, I knew that I had to make some changes, especially considering my partner and I are thinking of having a child in the next 3 years. The only way I could see myself continue eating my favorite foods, but also lose weight, was a daily caloric deficit that would equate to shedding 1 pound a week. I also needed to up my exercise game because I knew my chill 20 minutes everyday weekday on the elliptical wasn't going to cut it. So I did the following things. 1. Paid for a full version of the Lose It app. I don't remember exactly why I decided to get the paid version instead of just sticking with the free app, but I don't regret it at all. It's such an incredibly helpful tool, especially when you can put in your own recipes. I also love the welcoming and cheery interface, so it's not really daunting whenever I open it up to check or input data. 2. I calculated the calories of all our favorite recipes, and anything we ever cooked and baked, basically. All the recipes that we cook and bake now have little tables written on them with the calories for each recipe. Because not only is it great to record the base calorie count, but it gives you flexibility too whenever you want to change it up. 3. Put our digital food scale permanently on the counter. We weigh absolutely everything, especially when we cook and bake. This is critical for me, especially on days when I want dessert like ice cream or cake. It also allows me to eat rice with every meal if I wanted to, and being Asian, I want to most days. So now it has a permanent home right beside our toaster. 4. I bought an older model Schwinn spin bike that didn't cost an arm and leg, and I upped my exercise time to a minimum of 30 minutes on weekdays. I'm usually able to do 45 minutes, with the first 15 minutes just slacking off. But since I'm only able to work out in the morning, there are days when I want to sleep a little more. I absolutely love my bike, and it is probably one of the best things I ever bought during the pandemic. I usually am able to burn 360 to 420 calories per 45-minute ride, depending on how fast or slow I'm able to warm up. 5. Bought an Apple Watch to track total daily energy expenditure. I wanted to be really accurate with the calorie deficit, so I decided to invest in an Apple Watch, as well as to be able to track my TDE every day and get a really good sense of what my average TDE is, plus also count how many calories I'm burning during my workouts. It is excellent for me because I love seeing data and adjusting my routine based on what the data says to avoid plateauing. 6. Weighed myself every single day at roughly the same time of day and tracked it on a total daily energy expenditure spreadsheet. As I said, I love data. I deal with data every day at work, and I saw this as an opportunity to have data on my body that will allow me to make better decisions. So far, everything has been pretty accurate in terms of what my Apple Watch says is my daily TDE and caloric intake on the Lose It app. It takes a little bit of patience to not go crazy when you don't see what the data says should happen that day on the scale, but it usually does add up. I also learned so much about my body, like that it goes through the whole whoosh effect every other week. I love knowing this. 7. Did not eat calories lost above my usual total daily energy expenditure due to exercise. This was an absolute big no-no for me. The reason for that is I know I will have cheat days, so I want to make sure I make up for it in some form. 8. Did not track calories during holidays, special occasions, and trips. I want to enjoy life and eat some really sinful things every once in a while, you know? 9. Still eat ice cream, gummy bears, and baked Cheetos. As long as they are weighed and tracked, it hasn't been a problem. The fact that I'm able to still eat these things have contributed to the effectiveness of what I've been doing. I'll probably have a small bag of baked Cheetos, 120 cal, 3 times a week. Most weeknights when I'm super exhausted from work, I'll have 50 grams of Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie after dinner. These foods are yummy and make me feel happy. I eat them if I'm still on track for 1 pound a week. Marvelous. For reference, here are my calories in, calories out stats. Average TDE 2260, average daily caloric intake 1680, and average daily caloric deficit 580. I am now at 166.6 pounds, back into overweight BMI territory. When I get to 160, I will reassess my workout intensity and caloric intake to prepare for the next 20 pounds. I eventually want to be at 140, which is at the top end of my normal BMI for my height. I'm not in a rush though, because I know I feel that this is the right way to go for my body and for my mental health. These last 3 months have been really an empowering and validating experience for me, so I wanted to share it, especially for those who are feeling stuck. Thank you for reading. Way to get after it with data analytics. I did many of the same things. Lose It, Digital Scale, Apple Watch, and cycling. All great things that helped me a lot. Keep up the good work, fellow fitness nerd. It gets me super excited seeing my numbers adjust after putting down a new data point. Being a fitness nerd feels really good, not gonna lie. I meant to add that ice cream and gummy bears are also my treats. I eat Halo Top ice cream, 100 calories per serving, I usually do half a serving, and Project 7 gummies, 60 calories and high fiber, both available at Target. Are you me? I have had a very similar story, starting weight and Apple Watch purchase. I am an inch taller, but I started at 186 pounds and I'm now at 171. 6 more pounds and I will be at my pre-pandemic weight, but I also want to get to about 140-ish. I am hoping to be at my pre-pandemic weight before school starts in mid-August so I can wear my work clothes again. I'm a teacher, but the rest of it can come off as I go. If we can make it through the pandemic, we can do this. I'm also a 5'3" petite woman, weighing at 176 pounds the last time I checked. I was able to lose 20 pounds before. I went from 174 to 154 in a matter of 3 months by cutting carbs and only eating twice a day and 2 small snacks. I gained weight and got pregnant during the pandemic. My baby is now almost 4 months, so it's time for me to start losing weight again. This time, I'm aiming for 30 to 40 pounds. Good luck. I hope you achieve your goal. I am an Asian woman, so cutting carbs out would be really detrimental to my program and my mental health since a lot of my favorite dishes are best eaten with rice. But I'm glad it worked for you. Congratulations on the baby. I have no doubt you can lose that weight again. I'm not familiar with the Lose It app. What are some benefits if you don't mind sharing? It's really primarily a calorie tracking app, but it syncs with your fitness watches, has a great inventory of food already in it, and you can have multiple goals. You can also create recipes, and the app calculates the calories for you. I know it also has a lot more features in terms of goal setting as well, but I haven't really explored that as much. I did pretty much the same and lost 45 pounds in about 6 months. I've been dealing with stress and health issues since that loss, and I've just been maintaining and trying not to gain anything back. Good luck on your journey. I feel like I could have written this post. I also noticed I gained weight during the pandemic, so my goal for the summer was to return to my pre-pandemic weight. I've been able to lose it all over the past 2 months by following many of the same points on your list. It's been important for me to build treats into my day so long as I don't go over my calorie budget. No exercise bike, but I've walked 5 to 7 miles outside every day and started to use the fitness center in my building on the days when it's raining outside. I am eyeing an Apple Watch, but will probably try to hold out until Christmas. And it would be a reward for keeping at these lifestyle changes for 8 months. Honestly, I would not have seen such good results if not for treats, especially during this time when we're still reeling from the pandemic, plus it's been super stressful for me at work, so having space for guilty pleasures was really important to me. Way to go on your weight loss, and I support you rewarding yourself with an Apple Watch at the end of this year. It's worth it. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. Hi Narwhals, this is my first post here, but I love the support this community gives. I'm about 10 pounds away from my goal. I started losing back in June 2017. I've had some hiccups along the way, including regaining about 25 pounds, but I persevered.